I'm not.
I've been there for 41 years. I'm all
Awesome.
okay, well, that answers those questions.
Okay.
I'm like,
No, I'm trying to be respectful.
and hopefully whoever buys the house is a decent neighbor too. You never know, because it's a,
It's not gonna be easy to live there. I don't have to.
Oh, really?
right.
Similar.
That's why I have this last one, like, right? I'd like to call this meeting to order, was a pledge to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on our agenda this evening is the approval of last month's.
I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second. Discussion. Favor? Aye. Carried. Correspondence. Next on our agenda is the subdivision plan for Lake Erie Premier property. Minor subdivision. Here.
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. So what we have is a piece of property that's next to the property that I own right now on Robison. This piece of property has had a little over 3 acres. I purchased the house to be able to give, hopefully in the end, a barrier between my property and this property. So what I'm looking to do, with your permission, would be to subdivide this property, sell the house, yes, there, and then make 2 parcels out of the vacant land and keep one of them, the western, and actually just add it right into, if you would, make it 1 parcel. So I'm not looking to build anything on it. I'm looking just to have a barrier of woods, of land.
We looked at the original proposed preliminary plan. It's changed a bunch, so I don't know whether there's going to be allowed a difference.
What do you mean?
Modification,
Okay.
because your original plan we preliminarily agreed on
Well, can I ask, I'm not sure which one that was. What did it?
in 23. You got it? I think it's more the next. Okay. Got it. Yes. I think it all has to do with it. You change.
Well, this is, yes, sir. This is completely on the east side, has,
Understand.
okay.
But you're moving some of that line. That was at lot 3. Then a piece of, I'm sure you know, that is changed.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
And so now we're not doing what was on the original. It's changed.
Yes, sir.
We approved the plan as proposed. This is not.
Right. Yeah, I'm coming in to bring a different proposal, and really there's a couple reasons. One is I want to disturb less ground, and I also want, if I can, to create a barrier between what I'm doing and the subdivision that's next to me.
I'm saying you've changed it though.
Okay, so what, I'm not sure. You're absolutely correct. What are you saying to me though? I don't think I understand.
The change is is a change, and so we okay or preliminarily agreed that plan is okay.
Yes, sir.
We're completely changing it from that plan.
Yes, sir.
That's my point.
Yes.
And so you have to go by today's regulations versus 2 years ago. So if you were to build according to that, we're good.
Okay.
We're not, or you're not. You're proposing something different.
And what do you mean by today's regulations, sir?
The rules and regs, we have a new adopted zoning ordinances from then to now.
Okay.
Yeah, and then permitted principal uses. So really can't put, help me out, Matt, can we put, you can't have the short-term rental there, because we agreed on that.
Okay.
And now somebody else comes in, I guess we're setting a precedence, because somebody else comes in with a new set of plans, and you know, I want to make these a short-term. We agreed that these would. Now, you change that. So
So is there a short-term rental, just so I think everybody understands, is there one on parcel A exchange? Do you have a rental currently on one of the parcels that's changing, is that parcel A? Parcel, one. Oh, that's one here, okay.
Well, and that kind of leads to the confusion here. We have two separate subdivisions. They're both kind of doing the same thing, but they're two separate subdivisions. And Tim, I think what he's trying to allude to is it should probably be one major subdivision plan for the two parcels, because you're taking part of parcel A and adding it on to the subdivision we're going to get to next. So thereby kind of incorporating this parcel into that development. So it should probably be one subdivision plan, just one major subdivision plan with everything on it instead of two separate. And I think that's leading to some of the confusion we're having right now.
I mean, I could leave that piece of property not tied in, if that would help.
as long as it doesn't vary from that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah, can I re-clarify to make sure I understand?
sure.
So I understand this was was it a preliminary approval? Is that correct? Is that what it was?
Correct.
And so it was approved in the ordinance of that time?
As it was drawn there, yes.
Yes. So if proposing what I'm proposing tonight, you're saying even though it would be maybe more beneficial in many ways, that I would not be able to continue doing what I'm doing there with an approval of an updated preliminary plan? Is that what you're saying, sir?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Because the plan changed substantially, you have to follow the new uses that would be there. Because the use was approved with the preliminary plan, correct?
I wish we would have had that discussion, because I had brought this in a year ago, Mike and I, and we had this discussion, and I showed it to you guys, and I spent some time and money putting this together. I was never told that, and I understand there are rules, and that's your job. I get that, all of you, and I respect all of you very much. Just I don't think I would have spent the time if I would have. If I'd been told, and I understand too. You made a great point, Mr. Will, about precedence. I mean, that's a big deal, because right, whatever you say, everybody else is going to know. So I completely understand that. With that said, I guess I'm just going to give you my thoughts and respectfully sit down and let you guys do what you do.
The only thing we try to do is apply today's rules to the plans that are brought before us. We have no way of changing those rules. That is really up to the township as far as if there's going to be variances from the original, and I don't know that we can do variances not for usage, correct?
Matt, can I just ask, was that just something that was, I mean, how do you feel like that, how did that happen when, you know, a couple of times I'd come in with these,
Seamless arrangement until you submitted,
well,
because the road shifted to the west. It was originally supposed to be between lots 3 and. So when I was looking, doing the review, seeing the road up here with a 55-foot right of way, that looked odd. So then I pulled the preliminary plan, and that's when I realized that it was that part.
I mean, I respect you and I'm not gonna argue with you about it. My recollection would have been different, but, do you guys have any recommendations? The value of, now that I see we can pull these away even a little bit more from the other subdivision, disturb way less dirt.
That's not the point, though, I guess, of
But
the trying to be.
I understand.
And I understand your position, because a lot of energy and money and time to spend, and I understand that, but you still have to go by today's rules.
Do I have any options of, if I wanted to somehow try to get things approved? I realize it sounds like you can't. I'm just asking. I don't know the process. Is there any kind of appeal or anything that I can do?
So you just need to know what he would have to do to follow the requirements.
Plan you submitted meets the requirements,
Yes, sir.
but it supersedes the preliminary plan, so you can't no longer lock in with what the rules and regs were that you're now.
Today's rules.
I understand what you're saying. 100%. I'm only asking if there's anything that you could advise, anything at all to say, is there anything I could do to try to see? It would benefit everybody around if I didn't do this and I did the new. So it's a benefit for, I know there are rules, but I know there are things that's like, that's actually better. So is there something that I might be able to do outside of this meeting? That, is there anyone I could, you know, appeal this to see if there's an option?
I don't know, I guess that's beyond our realm.
Does the planning commission, do they appeal to the zoning hearing board, planning commission, or? Yeah, so if you don't,
Anything with the zoning, you're sure, I'm sorry, you're sure.
Just waiting to say. What did you say, Tim?
Usually the appeals will go in front of the zoning hearing board.
it's
Okay. Again, I respect, I understand your rules, I understand what you have to do. I'm not asking you to do anything outside of what you do. When I see something that I believe is a great benefit for these people and other people, like that we could, I just think, and the ground disturbance. It's definitely gonna be less. I'm gonna be taking out way less trees. The ravine's gonna be less. And the reason, many of you may know, on Robinson Road, there's like a junkyard right next to my place. And so I was trying not to put a road there where people driving in going, oh my gosh, look at all these cars, you know, look at all this junk. But, you know, I have been in contact with them and they're slowly cleaning things up. So I'm like hopeful that might be an option. So, okay. So at this point, you can't do any, if you approve this, I'm out of short-term rentals on this, is what you're telling me, correct?
Correct, that's my understanding, yes.
Okay. Okay. The other triangle piece on the other side of the property, if there's property added into this, that you're saying that also changes the ordinance?
It's just like, it's different. Planning, balloon, agreed.
Just as a clarification, in the one that has 8 lots, so I have buildings on lot 1, lot 2, lot 3, and lot 4. Lot 1 is the one that I was hoping to bring, but that one's already done. And that's its own piece. Does that matter or not matter? I mean, lot 1 is its own, it's already done.
Lot one is your grandfather did with that. You have the existing use there, you're not changing it, you're good.
Even, and so that would be my question, if I add an acre to that lot,
You're still good.
Want to add to
Yeah,
lot
you're
one,
still-
yes, sir.
and that's changing the plot, that's changing the thing.
Okay,
But.
what a bummer.
But
Yeah.
this is, the only thing that's being affected are lots 5 through 8.
For the back, but I would, yeah, and then I was just asking about the triangle piece, because if I could add that 1 acre to lot 1,
That would affect the use of lot.
But you couldn't put any additional structures.
correct, I understand that. I know we can only put one structure on a piece of property. I do understand that, yes.
You got
Excuse
the approval originally with the tree pieces for 8, right? 8 of them?
Eight
So then
parcels.
why don't you just leave it the way it is, put your 8, or put other 4, and then,
It might be what I have to do, but like with this, it keeps the tree houses even further away. Because the subdivision's up top there, so this is my proposed, it would keep them even closer. You know what I mean? And not that I have them, the dogs were so irritated about where we rent to, but it actually is an advantage for me, and I feel it's an advantage for subdivision. It's an advantage for not moving around. You're right, though, if I have to, I have to. If I can't go any other way, you're right.
But that last tree house that you built, way in the back there,
Yes.
one time there was a bunch of cars in.
Well,
Well, there
that
you
was that was a friend of mine that had a birthday party, but they weren't.
No, you said 2 cars. 2 cars.
It's not always two. Right. Normally, they're allowed more than that by the
so how
township.
much space do you have behind the first floor? Do you have a lot back there? Property?
Yeah, probably 12 to 14 acres, I believe, something like that. Well, I don't want to keep you all night. I realize that you guys basically almost showed up here for me, so I know you didn't come anyway, but, so at this point, what are my options? Could you give me those? Could you help me with that? I mean, what are my options?
With original planning. That's my understanding.
If you want to keep the uses.
If you want to keep the use the way it is, that's it. Because then the new laws enacted, they're not permitted in that zone.
Do you feel like I could appeal that?
Could, I don't know how that would really, I mean, it hasn't been done before, it was a contentious issue to begin with. So, that's totally on your own merit feeling, but, I mean, they were changed for a reason, I guess is the way I would probably look at it, So, yeah, you have the right to appeal.
I understand that.
That's a possibility, I guess, but I would look at it from the perspective. Once you change what you're doing, you gotta go to the new laws, and the new laws are telling you can't put them basically on lots 5 through 8.
Correct, yes. Okay. Understood. Well, then I guess I'm gonna hold off on that one. How about the first triangle lot, that I'd like to subdivide?
You're just adding that to that original lot. That what you're-
Yes, sir.
But that really doesn't change that at all.
No, it's just a barrier.
Right. Now, does that go away? Oh, yeah, that really shouldn't be an issue. My understanding.
such a place today.
Jesus, right. So I think we call for motion planning. Again. First minor subdivision.
I guess the first one is withdrawing one, or we, something.
Well, they both have to do with change.
Yeah, okay. I just
So I
think
think
we,
we have to do one at a time, I don't know.
I don't want to do the second one. I mean, I definitely don't, I don't want to change from this. I don't want to do that, of course. So if I'm putting myself in jeopardy, I'm not doing that.
We can withdraw or table it, you don't have to vote yea or nay.
Okay.
So let's address the first one,
Need a motion for that first.
because you don't want to withdraw your first subdivision.
No, I'd like to sell that house.
I just build it in.
Thought about knocking it down.
I will do that, go ahead and then knock it down.
Hey, if you give us a really good price,
I know that.
if you give us a really good price, we'll buy it. With the 3/8, right?
Phase two.
155 you pay. Sure.
This recursive is drawn.
do you want to withdraw it, or do you want us to table?
Which one?
Second,
Second.
Yeah, well, what does the difference? What's table versus withdrawal?
table, they readdress, they reconsider it next meeting.
I'll make the next meeting.
I'd say probably withdraw, because I don't think at this point, you guys, there's really nothing else you can do to help me with this. Even though I will say, I know it doesn't matter, but I believe it's very beneficial. So that's
We
why,
understand.
for many reasons, which I think the Summit Township actually values the things that I'm saying. Lesser disturbance, keeping even further from the neighbors, so, but I understand that you're limited. I get it. I get it. So I'm gonna say I'd like to withdraw the one that's behind you. I don't know what I'll do from here, but yeah, I'll withdraw it, please. Thank you.
Start building 5 through 8. Yeah. How do you take care of it in the winter with the steps?
So we have, our next on our coloring, item number 6, we start comprehensive plan update.
Yeah, so I took a look at some other ordinances, you guys are concerned on the one that I presented at the last meeting, so I just want to give you an update. I'm presenting a new one, with some additions, and hopefully it's not gonna be so vague. We did amend, would like to propose and amend our existing zoning ordinance, and we would like to allow data centers to be in the, industrial zone district. We added parking requirements. If you go to the last page of the zoning ordinance, you'll see the parking requirements, just one parking space per 2 guests, or one parking space per employee. That's something that we added, and you'll see on the left, on the last page, we added as a special exception in the industrial zone district. Right, yep. So I just want to kind of be clear on where we're going to allow data centers. We added a new definition, closed loop cooling system to our definitions section. As a new special exception submission requirement, we would like a preliminary noise and vibration study and an approved emergency response plan. Under the noise standards, we expanded that area. They need to provide us with a pre-construction base noise study, recommendations of sound reducing materials, post-construction noise study, And they have to submit a study between 1 and 12 months after occupancy. We also added protection for water. That was a major concern. So we want to make sure that they had adequate water supply and there would be no adverse impacts of groundwater or no adverse impacts of surface water. And it may not exceed the safe yield negatively affect neighboring wells, wetlands, streams, groundwater, public water systems. We kept the definitions in our ordinance that I was proposing, but I added to our definitions. So I really didn't take any definitions out. Mandatory cooling system requirements. We have a completely new section on that. That loop cooling, I think, is important. And they're coming out with new ways to cool down these data centers every day. But we found that it should be required. If a closed loop is infeasible, then they have to provide us with engineering documentation to support the finding, and the township would grant the exemption. Data centers may not use private potable wells as a primary cooling water source. It's another addition that I made to this. As far as chemical handling, this is a new section. Completely new section. We want to make sure that they include spill prevention, secondary containment, hazardous material response plan, annual leak testing, and annual certification of containment. This section did not previously exist. Building height. We had maximum building height 45 feet, accessory building 30 feet. Went over the parking. Now, setbacks. The other townships came up with, they recommended 200 feet from a right yard setback, or between residential zoning districts, it's 200 feet, non-residential 100 feet, the front yard setback is 75 feet, and ground equipment 300 feet. They're kind of standard, but I talked with one of the supervisors and they would like to increase those setbacks. I know Ron McElderry suggested 250 feet between zoning districts, residential zoning districts and the commercial. How do you guys feel about 500 feet for a, between zoning districts? I'm not against the red. What's that? 500, would like 500?
I mean, I definitely make sure that we see where the industrial zone and residential conflict throughout the township. I know we won't have public places.
Do you have a zoning map available? I can show you where, so we're looking like a road.
Yeah.
It's the only, it's one major place for the industrial zone district, and we have a couple of spots, like in the township, and once we pull that out, I'll show you the legend, where it's labeled industrial.
Just a quick question there. Set these dimensions to any of the properties to see if they're doable or not. Type. And I guess
We don't have a lot of large
Yeah.
parcels, and so unless we expand it into the agriculture district, where people have more than 20 acres. So, you know, I'm trying to accommodate everybody and allow them in places where they should be. So if you see the blue area, there's a blue spot there. That would be industrial district. The dark blue would be the industrial park, but we're looking at the industrial zone district. So Oliver Road, temporary, go all the way down. Brookville. Just have to go all seven.
This is the mine plan.
Yeah, just so you're ready.
amazing how much you see that property change from 980.
Oh, I know.
Wow.
With all the, yeah. So you guys are okay with 500 feet
Start.
Yeah, I think.
between zoning districts? So you're gonna see the industrial zone district well, but up against the residential district, the RMD. That's your residential medium district. So So anything that butts up against that, they would have to provide us with the side yard setback of, actually, between zoning districts of 500 feet. Front yard setback, we have 75 feet, so your front yard, how far back do you want it? Obviously, they would have to provide us with the green space plan and go through the land development process for your approval. But as far as the front yard setback, I think it should be at least 100.
How wide is that parcel off of, all over road? Do you have anything like, is it 1,000 feet? So we wouldn't be able to put it there then, correct? Yes, I understand, just asking no question. So we have someplace, so it wouldn't be completely zoned out, if that's the only spot we could put would be over off of Pembroke, or off of, I guess, by the landfill.
And would any of that really come into play once you stated the noise?
The noise and all the testing that's required.
Yeah,
You're looking for water, it has to be a cooled system, and there's not a lot of water here, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I do want one in place, though, at least, it's,
Sure.
yeah, and then down the road, and that we will do so. It's a little more detailed than it was the last time, though. So, as far as the front yard setback, off Oliver Road, it's already required to be 100 feet, so we should change that from 75 to at least 100, because that's what it is right now.
Yes.
Ground equipment, 300 feet. You okay with that, Chris? Yeah, thank you.
and this is, kind of like you mentioned, this is, more detailed than the county baseline that was
Yes.
offered.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, thank you.
You're welcome. Connection to public water and public sewer is required. And decommissioning, we didn't have much in the last one about decommissioning, so I just want to let you know that we did add a decommissioning plans. Decommissioning plan, removal timelines are included in the new one, restoration requirements, hazardous material removal, financial security, 110% bonding of how many. Bond, yes, 110% of what it would cost to decommission.
What happens if we just walk away?
Well, that's why we're requesting like a 5-year update, at least if something changes or companies change, they come and go. We want a 5-year update on agreements and all that stuff, so, which was not in there in the past.
I like it.
So this will definitely get us to where we start to learn more and more if something is needed to adapt either way.
Right, but it's a little more in depth than what they do. Again, a special exception, so they would have to go from the zoning hearing board. The zoning hearing board has an opportunity to add more conditions or criteria once they present their plan to them on top of what we're requiring as far as criteria.
This seems to create a fair understanding sandbox, so to speak, for a developer to come and say, do they want to be here or not,
Right.
and move forward. I like it,
Thank you.
again, second try this personally, so I.
So I need
To get a motion on that.
motions to at least, agree with that
Yeah.
ordinance 2026 XX.
I make a motion to approve the ordinance with the changes in the setbacks and
I think that's already
distances.
all in here.
With the ones that we.
There were a couple.
That-
Oh, yes, gotcha, yes.
With those amendments,
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Other business?
No, but so I just want to let you know what the next step is. I'll have this on our desk for 30 days for the public to review. If they have any questions, if they have any changes, I'll come back to the board and ask you guys about it. And then we'll take it to the supervisor.
That'll be advertised then?
Yes, it'll be advertised for a public hearing after the 30-day review. And that's what we have, and then we'll look for business. What matters.
Just real quick, we're working on a grant due at the end of July for the multimodal. We're designing the sidewalk project. I found a possible way to get across the ravine. So we're proceeding with the grant to get across the ravine. We're working with Mill Creek to fill the gap across Wegmans and make a connection to the sidewalk in Mill Creek. So there would be a continuous sidewalk from the city of Erie all the way up to I-90.
So. We're scrambling.
That's it. Open for public comment? Please. Need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.